It's kind of like a Pac-Man bad guy or something. Huh? But what it really is a big yellow diamond. That needs a little work to make it all shiny and polished and stuff, because I started working on this before I actually knew anything about diamonds. And so I ruined its own natural finish by going over it with sandpaper to sort of smooth things out. Well, I didn't know. And so it now requires considerably more effort. And so we look for the bright, shiny side, and I think this is the bright, shiny side. And you can see this is lighting up. And that's actually the z-axis. There's planes of cleavage going this way and planes of cleavage going this way, and they travel all the way across that stone. But right where they cross each other is this point here. And so, and maybe it's over here, I don't know. It happens wherever they're crossing each other, and this kind of has some different sections to it, and so the planes of cleavage travel along those in unique directions sometimes, like this. You can see it right inside there. And that's what you're seeing under the surface of the stone is the planes of cleavage all lining up together in what we call chatoyancy. And it comes from the planes of cleavage, because it's carbon, it's just carbon, right? Carbon atoms are all the same size. And they line up in perfect little rows and columns. My favorite saying. And they do indeed. They line up in rows and columns, and when you figure out which way they go, you start getting the stone to look the way it should. So I'm working on it a little bit at a time. The thing about diamonds is they don't get a lot of foreign material inside the crystal lattice, because in fault lines they crystallize out first. They have the highest melting point, and so as things cool down, they're the first ones to come out of the melt. And they're not really rare at all, because fault lines are not rare at all. And it happened in every fault line, every one of them. Okay, and every river, creek, dry wash, all those low spots in the ground, right? That's where you find these cracks in the ground, like this. Right? It's the low spots in the ground where the cracks are, where the planes of cleavage. That's what they are. How about that? Crazy, huh? But that's what they are. And or mostly, mostly. There are other things like spaceships that stick out of the side of the ground that cause some cracking too. And so, you look at the natural cracks and you look at the spaceship cracks, and spaceship cracks make straight lines. And natural cracks can't, right? Water, as it's traveling along a sphere that goes around and around, bounces back and forth, boom, 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 off either side because of the curvature of that. As the water's going this way, the planet's going this way. Woo! And so it gives a curve to everything. And when you find how those curves work, you can see how the stone's supposed to work. Isn't that something, huh? Somebody made that, designed that, and I didn't know it. I didn't know. So I took off some of those low spots in the ground because I didn't know it was an artifact. And it's funny, I see people cutting fire agate mound, and I know that they are part of holograms that are part of the whole big rock. And people cut them out because they're only looking at this part of it. They want money, 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 money. And so they cut the rocks up into little pieces, hoping they get more money. Well, you can get paper dollars for it, but you won't get any money. There's the difference. So, we have holograms in a Maya rocks. Peace, y'all.